unable to ask for help. In my mind, I kept thinking, I need to get out of here, and I will, that this is just momentary. After a long struggle with myself, one fine day, I decided that things needed to change. I needed to break down the walls that I had built for myself. That deliberate decision to pull myself out of the dark chasm that I had put myself in was the turning point in my life. A cousin of mine had insisted that joining Toastmasters could help me. So I decided to join in order to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone. As I gave my first speech and talked about my achievements, I started believing in myself again. The next step for me was to start applying for jobs again, which I did. And to my disbelief, I finally started getting callbacks from companies that I never thought would have called me for interviews before. I gave initial interviews and performed well and moved on to the second rounds and the third and the final rounds. I ended up having multiple job offers on the table. I still cannot process how I got from believing I was not capable of getting a job to having multiple offers in a span of a couple of months. Amidst all this, my biggest supporter has been my husband, who knew I was struggling. He gave me the time and space to heal and regain my confidence. He had always believed in me and kept motivating me to believe in myself. In hindsight, the 2-year professional hiatus that I had to take gave me an opportunity to grow and learn new skills, and eventually led me to land a job that I wanted. With my husband's support and motivation, even in my darkest moments, I kept believing that I would get myself out of this rut. I believed that this would pass and I would prevail someday. Today, I'm happy to tell you that this too has passed and I'm ready to take on new challenges. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Wow. Pragati, before you leave the stage, could you please share us what would you do if you know that you will never fail?
I think solve climate change. I think that is going to be one of the biggest challenges for us and the next generations to come. And I think bothers me. So if I knew that I wouldn't fail, I would definitely solve that problem.
That's great. Thank you, Pragati. And our next speaker is Joanne, and she will be sharing the club initiative plan, which we have been working behind the scenes as a committee member, and today she will be sharing with all the members, and we will have question and answer time after her speech. So please help me welcome Joanne.
Hi everyone, good evening Toastmasters. Okay, I'm gonna bring something exciting. All of us like to get appreciated every time we go for work, is it? Or we don't like to be appreciated, awarded for the work? Can raise of hands? I can see Nishita smiling, but she's not raising. Yeah, okay, so we have come up with an initiative for awards for what we are doing every time we're attending meetings. So for whatever we're doing, so every quarter we're going to have the award, and we have a couple of awards that we have distinguished and we're going to put across. And I'm going to share my screen now as to what these different awards are, if you can share with me. I can see my screen. Yeah. All right. So the awards, we call that as Trojan Awards, and we've decided for now to go there as quarterly awards. So this is for this session, it's going to be up to December. So we want to have a celebration at Christmas and at the same time have the award given away or the levels facilitated at the Christmas celebration. So we have 5 meetings to go by, I guess, more. So this is for the first quarter awards. And the first award that we have is Dynamic Trojan Award. This award goes like this. This is for minimum 5 roles played in this quarter. So the minimum 5 roles could be either of these five roles. It could be Toastmaster, Grammarian, Timer, Hug Master, General Evaluator, and Table Topic Master. But the Toastmaster of the day is the mandatory role to qualify for this award. So it's going to be 5 roles, 5 different roles. And in that 5 roles, it's going to be Toastmaster of the day. That is the mandatory role. And that award is going to be called as Dynamic Trojans. And the prize is something exciting that we're still looking for. And that's what you're going to get for. And you're going to be the Dynamic Trojan on that. Right? So everyone clear on that? Any questions? Of course, we're going to have question session, but anything briefly? Can I go ahead? All right. The second one is Trojan Star Award. This will be, this award is for the best speaker. That is a best speaker nominated for, for maximum number of times in the last quarter. That is, the 3 months, October, November, December. So the best speaker that has been nominated and the maximum time the speaker is nominated is the one who's going to win this award as the Trojan Star. And the third one is Trojan Influencer Award. This one goes invited guest. This is for any member who invites a guest to the meeting gets 1 point, and any member that converts or registers as a member gets 5 points. So anyone with the maximum number of points is the winner of the Trojan Influencer Award. And here we go. This is to encourage pathway level achiever facilitation. So we can facilitate you for your achievement for the level completion, along with SAS, and a certificate will be presented for your completion of levels. So if we was looking to complete the level, probably this should be a push for you to complete your levels every quarter. So these are the 3-4 awards that we're going to have. Any questions on this? Anyone? Okay, Simon. Yes, Simon.
Who's going to be keeping formal tallies of individuals and scores?
Yes. So, Momo, is that going to be you?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be Momo.
So just to add to that, Simon, most of it will be tracked within the Easy Speak.
Yes.
So then after, yeah, it's about counting the point.
Yeah.
And the idea is that to stimulate, the engagement and to just recognize the participation, and to raise a bit of a challenge on the experienced speaker, so that to see who would be the winning Trojan for the speaker.
And for the best speaker, is that formal and table topics, or just formal, or just table topics?
That one is for speaker, the best speaker.
Yes, but is that just for formal speeches, or is it also including table topics?
No, it's just the speakers.
So
Right.
the formal one, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
with
The formal one, yeah, right.
so it's a prepared one.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the presentation, Joanna. Just one question. Will all of this apply retroactively? Is it from a back date, like the last quarter you said, right?
No, this October, November, December, but I think the last one we had is for the contest. So this meeting, so 5 meetings which we have now in the quarter are the meetings that we'll consider.
So starting this
yeah.
month,
Yes,
starting this month, going
Yeah.
going up till December.
December, yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
The presentations, I'm assuming that we'll be having physical meetings going forward. So this will take place, the awards will take place at the Christmas meeting, which is at the moment going to be a physical meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're hoping for Flora, isn't it?
Yeah, this is what we're hoping. Yeah, you're right. We don't know with the current situation, but if things stay as they are and we're still allowed to meet in December, it'd be a physical yeah, meeting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm over 7 minutes 30.
Anybody has any more questions? If not, we can probably move forward. I can email the presentation to all the members, and if you still have more questions later on, probably can ask and then we can address it that way. So you know you're clear about it, and I'm looking forward for everyone to participate. So probably this should be our motivation to complete our levels, to participate more, so at the same time, you know, we're going to improve ourselves, our public speaking skills, everything. So this is a motivation for us to participate in the speaker, as a speaker, complete our levels, complete in the, you know, Momo should not have a problem in finding the role player. So and of course get our club to the top level. This is what will encourage. If we you know just look at our goal, we'll automatically reach that you know target of our, or the goal of our club, right? So thank you very much, and I will email your presentation to everyone, and if you have any questions, you can shoot that up and I can revert back. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joanna, and thanks, Momo.
Thank you so much, Joanna. And before you leave the stage, can you please share with us, what would you do if you know that you would never fail?
If I knew that I would never fail, I think I would have gotten rid of a couple of emotions that always come attached to that. If we have the self-doubt, I guess the confidence level will any which ways come up, because you do anything, I know that I'm never going to fail. You know, now what happens, you know, oh, if I do this, this will happen, or no, you know, that kind of scenario. So I think the good thing that will happen is, if I knew that I will just go on doing whatever I want to achieve, and I'll know that it's going to be achieved irrespective of whatever emotions are attached to it, and probably I'll be the happy person, more happy person. But given a chance, I might not want to change everything, because those emotions as well is important to make a balance. So
Thank you, Joanna.
you're welcome.
And now I would like to invite Flora again to the stage to evaluate Pragati's speech, please. Flora.
Thank you, Momo. Before I start, I was actually wondering if everyone had a chance to give some feedback to Pragati. So I think as we have a bit more time, I just thought maybe we could take a few minutes for everyone to just share feedback, or if everyone has already done that, just tell me we've done it, and we don't have to take an extra 5 minutes. But that's something that is really valuable to give a few thoughts on how do you think the speech went. So you can do that through the chat directly to Pragati, or for those who want to use Pathways, also possible to do it on the Basecamp. So, Madam Timekeeper, if you could just have 3 minutes for everyone to give a bit of feedback.
Yep, sure.
Thanks. Set 3 minutes, Lucy. Perfect. All right. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and thank you everyone for listening to Pragati, and well done, Pragati, for your second speech. So I'll do my my evaluation by giving you my commandment, and then explaining where I think the area where the speech could improve. So in terms of strengths, so I thought the topic was very good. Very, it was a personal story, very emotional, and that connected, I think, very well with the audience. So in terms of inspiring, I like hearing to personal story. I like to hear a story where someone has had a big challenge and how they've overcome. So that really inspired me, and that also made me really connected with the speaker. So I really like the topic. I thought it was very well constructed, starting with an introduction that got me thinking, where is this going to go? So again, it's quite nice to have that type of introduction where you just get the speaker very much engaged, because we don't really know what exactly this is about. Then hearing about the challenge of moving country, starting in a new country in the UK, and then being hit by the pandemic. It's something that is quite extraordinary, and the way how Pragati overcomes those challenges, and also referring to Toastmaster, how Toastmaster helped her to overcome where she was and pursue a growth, was again very engaging for the audience and in general, to inspire others to have that strength when there is a big challenge to overcome. I thought as well the speech was very clear, a very good pace, good vocal variety. When Pragati was talking about a struggle, I had the impression that the pace or the vocal variety was emphasizing those emotions, and then where Pragati was overcoming the challenging and explaining how she got multiple job offer, that also kind of resonate in the voice. So that was really good. In terms of recommendation, I have a few in terms of improving the delivery, especially. So in terms of the setup, I was not sure how this was set up, but I had the impression that Pragati had a device in her hand. So I don't know, I was a bit distracted in terms of how far maybe Pragati was from the screen and in terms of the hand in front. So maybe I'll encourage her to watch the video and just to see how, when on screen, how she appears. I thought because of the setup as well, maybe her face was not very easily readable. So again, I would want to see a bit more about her facial expression, especially with all of those emotion and those personal story. I think that could have helped the delivery. Another way as well in terms of improving improving on the delivery is a gesture. So I could see some hand gesture, but I think again that's something to practice, especially when there's specific point or messages or so emotional. I think sometimes you could just have show your hand a bit more. In terms of the structure, so it was very clear, and I really liked the introduction. I just thought the speech was so well constructed. I missed a bit on the conclusion. So at the end it was finished, and I was like, well, I want to know a bit more. I want to understand, what the key message, or make it more general in terms of the conclusion. So I think that's probably something also to think is overall how the personal story can resonate for everyone, and maybe a call for action in terms of growing challenge, like overcoming challenges, or joining Toastmaster, or something that everyone can remember as a key messages. But overall, it was really a fantastic speech. I really like the content, the personal story, the delivery of the speech. I think just by tweaking a bit more the setting on Zoom, being a bit closer to the camera, I think we'll see more of the facial expression and the gesture, and that could as well help with the connection with the audience, and then spending a bit more time on the conclusion, so that when there's such a a speech, such a well-constructed speech, the audience know actually that this is a conclusion, and we need just absorb the messages. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Flora. And it is our time for guest introduction, but we don't have any guests for today, so we can call for break for 10 minutes, and we can have the table topic session, or we can stay here to have socialized time. And we will be back in 10:25. 20:25, sorry.
Thank you, Momo. If this is the socializing time / networking time, I was just thinking we have a few members in this meeting. So even though we don't have any guests, we do not know anything about our new members. So maybe they could give us an informal introduction about themselves. I know this should be reserved for the icebreaker speech, but it would be lovely to meet Melanie and Molly and Lucy. Yes, I mean, if they're okay with it, of course.
Yeah.
Of course not. Of course, we are in a Toastmaster club, so yeah.
So, seeing as you said my name first, I suppose I should begin. So you know my name. I am a student, and I'm studying economics and business finance. What else can I say about myself? I worked in sales for a few years, but then after joining university, and with the lockdowns and things, I felt that my communication skills were perhaps getting a bit rusty. So here I am, and I don't really know what else to say. Is there anything in particular that we should talk about when introducing ourselves?
There are no rules, but sometimes people tell interesting or funny things about themselves, any interesting hobbies, how they heard about the Toastmaster, what brought them here. But you've given us your reason for joining it, though.
Okay. Yeah. No, I heard about Toastmasters through some kind of a guru on the internet who's very loud and proud. So I don't know if he's the best representative for Toastmasters, but here I am as a new member, so it worked. And yeah, I think that's all I can come up with for now.
Maybe ask who that guru is. That sounds very interesting.
Oh, somebody called Dan Pena, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Melanie. Lucy, how about we go back to you and tell us about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So as you must have heard, I'm from France. So from Brittany, a really small village with 500 inhabitants. I just wanted to see more of the world and just discover the background. So I've been working a bit in Paris in public procurement. And then last year in December 2020, we just decided to come in the UK. So at the beginning of December, which was the best time in the world to do it, in the middle of the pandemic and everything. But I really wanted to regain my studies more in private procurement. So I did that in Lancaster, move a bit in Durham, and now I am in London, sorry, working in both private and public procurement. And that's it for me for the last months. Oh, and I wanted to join Toastmaster because I really want to communicate better, particularly in English. And that's it for me.
Hi all, I'm Molly. I'm an astrologer. I'm from India. I just moved here last year during lockdown, and I joined Toastmaster Club because I want to improve my English. That is the reason to join this.
Thank you, Molly. Well, I just became an unofficial Toastmaster here. How's everyone doing?
No, how long each of you have been in Toastmaster? Because we are speaking about new members, but how about you? How long have you been in the association?
On the screen, if I were to go by in the order of seniority, then Simon would be the oldest member here, not by age, but by the number of years he's been with Toastmasters. But I'll just tell you about myself. I joined Trojans Club 4 years ago, and this is one of the best decisions I have made in life, professionally as well as personally. And I'm based in London, and I don't know what else to tell you about myself, but Toastmasters is a fantastic place, and I've made a lot of friends. I've learned a lot about my communication skills, and I have heard some incredible stories of people and amazing things about different professions, backgrounds, ethnicities, and some really crazy ideas and crazy things people have done. So that's what brings me to Toastmasters meetings pretty much every week. Simon, you want to go next?
Hi, well, I've been with this club for about 5 years, thereabouts. I joined through a friend of a friend who told me about the organization. I'd never heard of it before, knew nothing about it, but dropped in for a couple of meetings and thought, yeah, doesn't seem too bad. I think I can handle it. And started off by doing table topics. I'm quite a shy, reserved person. I don't like being the center of attention. I prefer to stay in the background and keep quiet. So when I tend to speak, I make up for it in rather unusual ways, because I've got a very, very dark sense of humor. And I quite frequently try to bring this into my talks, whether they're formal speeches or table topics. It may offend some people, but I make no apologies. I prefer to try and push the boundaries. I'm not offensive, hopefully not, but I just also try to get people to think about subjects which are normally swept under the carpet, but should really be brought to everyone's attention, either for health reasons or for other personal reasons. One of the things I do like doing with this club is actually trying to introduce new words, unusual expressions, again, because the English language is so wonderful. And I know so little about it, but I like to read around, and if I come across an interesting word, I try and bring it to the club. And hopefully if somebody else uses it, great. If not, well, good luck and carry on with your own reading around and looking for new words, new expressions. But yeah, that's my, I think, reason for being here. But I'm happy to answer any questions about my experiences.
Simon like as well to count the hums. He's a very good hum master.
Yeah. If you're ever, when I'm doing table topics, as table topics master, I will just say this. I try to put you under as much pressure as possible. So I normally ask the person first, and then they get the question, because I like to see you squirm. I like to see you actually thinking on your feet, which is fantastic, because that's what real life is all about. You often don't get to know the question till it's asked of you. And when it comes to feedback, I can be a little bit brutal. but it's not meant maliciously. It's just how I perceive the speech has gone and how I think it could be bettered. And I expect the same when other people give me feedback. I don't expect generosity or niceness, just tell it like it is. I will not be offended, and I will respect you more if you can say that was SH1T, and these are the reasons why I thought it was terrible. So let's hope there'll be no tears before bedtime tonight, because I'm actually evaluating table topics. But as I say, a few people here tonight, I might be gentle with you. So prepared to think. And as Melanie intimated with the word solicitous, fantastic word, not really come across it in the past. I'd have difficulty using it, but I think it's a good challenge which we should make ourselves determined to make Melanie proud and use it. But just don't shoehorn the word in just for the sake of getting it in. Try and think about how you're going to use it, because the grammarian appreciates that. Won't you, Melanie?
Of course, I take my role seriously.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. But no, I'm just a big teddy bear, honestly. And if you believe that, you will believe anything. Over to, who should I pick on? I don't think Dill is here. I'm going to go for Momo.
Thank you, Simon. About me, yeah, I had a crazy ride in my life. I had done so many crazy things. I have been to Crown Court, Magistrate Court. I've been to so many courts. I've been into the mental health hospital, which I run away. So I had a crazy life ride, which I was always brave and always strong. But when it comes to public speaking, that's not me. Complete opposite. I don't know who I am. So I remember back in 2019, I visited to Toastmaster meeting, yeah, in April 2019, April, I think. And I was asked one question, and I run away from that time, and it took me 2 years to come back again. So this is one of my weakest points, and I want to master that. So I joined the club.
I think we're going to have a very short meeting. So why don't we take an extended break and get Flora in and get her to tell us about herself and to the new members. What do you say, Flora?
Yeah, no, I was going to say actually, and we could see all the progress that Momo, I mean, you've achieved since you've joined it. It's just amazing. I think for me, I actually rejoined two years ago, just when COVID started. And I joined Trojan, I don't know, 2015, 2013, so a long time ago. But what I'd seen at that time is actually, by practicing, so I'm an introvert, I'd really hate presentation, and I hate, small talks and things like that, but it's important. And, sometimes you just want, there's a few times when you actually want to do things right, as that would help you at work, but also in your personal life. So I just thought this is something I need to overcome. And when I joined those meetings a number of years ago, I really saw the difference. And it's just practicing. What I quite like in Toastmaster is a structure. So it kind of feel a bit strange at first, but everything is well organized. There's a structure, and it's just, you just follow the structure, and it just works somehow. And the feedback that you receive, well, but that at the time I received from the member of the club really helped, because they actually tell you what your strengths are and what's your area for improvement. And often, personally, I always focus on my area of improvement. I don't necessarily see my strengths. So actually it's quite nice as well to know, okay, oh, this worked, this actually works when you speak, or this is actually not as bad as I thought. And I quite like that. I quite like as well to just have different, to just network with different people from different backgrounds, from different experience, from different, like multicultural environments. I really, really like that. I think it's just a bit refreshing to just have different network. But then life got very, very busy, and I thought I had reached a certain level, and that's fine. I don't need to attend a meeting. And I work in finance, so there was in a role where I don't have to do a lot of the presentation. And then a few years later, I got promoted and everything, and then you just have more and more time when actually you present or you engage with team and you motivate teams. And I just realized I need to go back to just to improve myself, and just joining Toastmaster during COVID was actually quite for me easier, because just a Zoom meeting worked very well in terms of balancing work and Toastmaster. But then again, now that just having a routine for me and just sticking to it, and I can really see how more confident I am at work or in my personal life. Yeah, just by practicing, which I find I'm always amazed, how because that's what you hear, but that's actually very true. So by practicing, you have to practice. So you have to do the role, you have to prepare your speech, you have to involve yourself. But by doing this, you really improve, and by listening to the feedback, you just get better. So is still around?
She's
I am
hiding
actually
behind a
here.
flag.
Yeah. What
you are
about you,
there.
Jill?
Hello. So what can I say about myself?
How long have
first
you
of-
been in the club? How long?
For the club. So it just turned 2 years this October since I joined the club, and I joined to of course boost my confidence level a little bit, because before I joined, as some of you might know, I was a very, very, very extremely to the side point of introverted individual who would normally approach people, approach random people or strangers. First, it's normally them who would approach me. But however, since joining the club, I have been slightly more. I've been out there trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, speaking to people a little bit more with a little bit more confidence, and I can express myself a little bit better than how I used to be before. And I would say, yeah, Toastmaster has helped me tremendously in getting me up to this point. and yeah, practicing is the way to go, like Flora mentioned. Practice, and then you get there eventually, sometimes slowly, but you'll get there. Thank you.
And Pragati, do you want to add to your experience?
Hi, I already talked a little bit about why I joined Toastmasters. I've been a member of Trojans for a couple of months, not a lot. And I had known about Toastmasters for a long time, because my cousin is a big advocate of Toastmasters. She has been a member for 5-6 years. She even got married to a fellow Toastmasters 6 months ago. So you can imagine the advocacy from her. And she had kind of insisted me to join a long time ago, but she would come to my house every Thursday. Her meetings were every Thursday, and she'd come to my house before the meeting. And whenever she had speeches, she was like, she was also working, so she wouldn't have the time to do the speeches beforehand, and she would always be rushing and panicking about her speeches. So I think that kind of put me off. I was also working at the time, and I was like, oh, I won't be able to manage this. I can't handle this. So I think that's why I put it off for such a long time. But now I think I needed this. I needed to join, and I needed to, I needed a structure to better myself. Hence, I joined a couple of months ago, and I think it has done good for me, not just because of the speeches, but because I want to improve myself. So, realizing that I need to improve and work on myself. So, as I told you, when I gave my icebreaker speech, I talked about myself and I talked about my achievements because I had forgotten about it up until then, and I had difficulty speaking about myself to others. So I think that helped me kind of regain my confidence and helped me through my job application processes. So yeah, that's been my journey with Toastmasters, and that's how I have been helped by joining Toastmasters.
Have we got anyone left to introduce?
We should perhaps speak to Joanna as well. She's the only person, and maybe after that we can jump back to our meeting business. What do you say, Joanna?
Yeah, perfect. No worries. Myself, I joined Trojans 3 months ago. I've been with Toastmasters, I've heard about it, I've been with Toastmasters, and I felt this is one place one has to be. And the reason I joined, I came to London in 2019, then there was COVID and I was searching for a club. I finally got one at Trojans. And because I work in an environment where my work is like project management and business analysis and stuff, and I kind of speak of a lot of stakeholders on a day-to-day basis, I felt this was the best platform for me to improve my skills. And there's no other place than Toastmaster, where you get genuine feedbacks, and say, okay, you can improve on this. I know this is my improvement level, and then I can incorporate that in my workplace as well. At the same time, I feel it's a place, of course, now we're doing Zoom, so there's no much socializing there. But I feel Toastmasters is one place you socialize yourself, you kind of relax yourself. This is one place, because I've been in Toastmaster where I used to attend Toastmaster master meetings, and I felt that was one aspect of, you just thrown, like Simon was saying, like table topic is like your life experience. And that is something that I really felt, okay, that this is the place, and there's no better place than Toastmasters to improve yourself, your skills when it comes to work, and you get lovely people to meet, and definitely there's it definitely helps in your career growth as well. And I enjoy doing this. Of course, like Pragati was saying, that when it comes to speech writing, it might take a little bit of effort there. But then definitely it's a good place, and I feel and the thing you kind of come out of your comfort zone. That is one thing. It definitely is a push that's required for everyone, and I felt that is one thing for me at least, and that's why I'm in Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Now we will get back to our club business. And it's the second session of our meeting, which is table topic. We have got table topic master of the day today, Nishtha Cho. So and since we don't have much, since we have got a lot of time today, all of us can participate, I believe. So Nishtha, if you have got question prepared, then yes, I believe all of us are ready to do the table topic session. And yeah, let me invite Nishta for the table topic question, please.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hello again, everybody. Since this is a very small meeting and we only have 10 guests, including me, I will be asking everybody a question, including the table topics evaluator, and he can evaluate himself. So that would be interesting to see. Right. Before I ask my questions, I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, there is no right or wrong answer to these questions. You can say anything you want, anything you like. You can spin the question on its head. You don't have to answer my question technically. What we want to see with table topics is whether you can think on your feet and speak for at least 60 seconds. And that's my point number two. The table topics answers should be at the very least 60 seconds. So this gives you an opportunity to practice public speaking and see whether you can continue speaking for a minute, which is when you see the green light, and then try and see if you can go up to 1 minute, 30 seconds or 2 minutes. But after 2 minutes, you will see the timekeeper show you the amber light at 2 and red light at 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And this is your signal to wrap up. But then that's a great sign that you can actually speak impromptu in response to a question, and you can think on your feet. Right, let's dive in. My first question is, you get a chance to join a secret cult, but there's a rule. Your introduction to the members must have the words grass, china, refrigerator. I repeat, you get a chance to join a secret cult, but there's a rule. Your introduction to the members must have the words grass, china, and refrigerator. And this question goes to Melanie.
So it's funny that you should mention this, actually, because once a few years back, actually, I was asked by a colleague whether or not I would be interested in becoming a Freemason. Now, he himself told me that he had been asked once a long while ago. He actually refused. So I was wondering why he was coming to me with this question. How strange. Of course, as you mentioned, he did state that I would need to give an introduction at the local chapter meeting, and I would need to include these 3 words. Now, I don't know what sort of perhaps hazing process that is supposed to be, but surely enough, I did concoct an introduction, and I'll explain it to you now. So I began by speaking about my love of tea. And as you may or may not know, tea is it's either taken from the tea plant, the tea tree, and processed in multiple different ways. So you get white, green, black, probably blue and red, but I just don't know about that yet. Alternatively, it can also be made via alternative herbal infusions. So peppermint, chamomile, raspberry, even, you name it. So I once decided to challenge myself and go abroad to Russia, as it happens, and source a very rare tea that I had once heard about. It was naturally, it grew naturally in the wild. It was a form of grass. So I did fly over there once, got past the customs, managed not to get apprehended at any point for doing anything wrong, even though we're not in the 70s, so I don't need to worry about that. And I sourced this grass, and I flew back, boiled it in my china teacup, and then actually it needed to be refrigerated for about 6 months before it was good enough to drink. Once I drank it, I have to say, I got high, and it was a lot like magic mushrooms. And that was my introduction. Needless to say, I wasn't accepted into the Freemasons. I was invited, but then rejected after giving this introduction. So, word of advice for you, don't do what I did.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. I was hoping to hear the 3 words and you packed them in at the last minute. My next question is, what is the most annoying thing people do on flights, according to you? What is the most annoying thing people do on flights, according to you? And that question goes to Dil.
Thank you, Madam Topic Master. So what's the most annoying thing, according to me, that people do in flights? I would say having their arms like occupying the arm, whatever that's called, the arm, is it armrest? Yes, occupying the armrest. That is literally the most annoying thing. First of all, I do not like strangers like touching me. And second of all, you have another armchair on that side. Why don't you lean on that side rather than leaning on my side? Sometimes I just wonder, like, why do you need to like have both arms on both arms on the arm seat? Well, I get it. You do need like a little bit more comfort, especially when you are squashed in that little tiny seat of the airplane. But you can like respect someone else's space a little bit and move a little bit to the other way. So this kind of normally when I am in a flight, I normally sit with my family and friends, my brother and my mom. But there was this one time when I had to come alone back to London, and I was sat next to a stranger, and that was a time when they had their arms next to basically they were using my armrest, which annoyed the shit out of me. I shouldn't use shit in Toastmasters. I did it again. But yeah, that's the most annoying thing in my opinion of an airport or airplane experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dil. My next question is, what is the craziest adventure you want to go on, but you haven't had the courage to do so far? So what is the craziest adventure you want to go on, but haven't had the courage to do so far? And that question goes to Joanna.
My craziest adventure, what should I say, is the Mount Everest. As impossible it might sound like, but that's my craziest adventure that I would want to do in my lifetime. And the reason I'm saying why I would want, however it might be feeling there, it's like all white snow. I've only seen in pictures or in movies, not been there, but I want to experience that. I know people say that, you're freezing cold, you could die there, but and there's one Mount Everest movie that I watched some time ago, and that girl who is climbing is shown the bravery. I feel I have that adventure in me, I have that bravery in that, and I kind of think, okay, I'm not using it, I must experience it. As it is, you're going to die any day, but just that I don't want to die early, so I'm waiting for a later time to try it. So as it is, I've lived some life, then I can try that. So that's what I think. But if at all I have to think about that adventure, then it would be Mount Everest, because I would love to see the serenity. I would love to have the calmness of the surrounding, and walk with confidence, and get that boldness. I think when you're in those in that climb in the mountains, nothing can beat that, none of the chaos out here would affect me. So I think this is one adventure I would love to definitely do, or something very close to that. But I think this is something I will do in my lifetime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanna. My next question is for Flora. And Flora, your question is, a convincing rumor is the only way to save the world, and that job has fallen on you. What rumor would you start? A convincing rumor is the only way to save the world, and that job has fallen on you. What rumor would you start? Flora.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. So convincing rumor has to be spread around the world, and that's my job to do it. What would I choose? That's a very, very good question. I am actually against spreading rumor in general. I like fact. I like to influence with, you know, real things, or if it's not real, to, you know, be close to real. I find it very difficult in general to build a rumor. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. So what I would do if that was actually, you know, down to me to spread a rumor, I would try to make it as you know, as true, or trying to get something that would help to get a better world. So, for example, what I would do with what's happening with the climate change and the COP26 is probably to just you know, make a rumor that the Chinese president is going to attend the summit. He has not, you know, said anything because he doesn't want to appear like he has to commit to anything, but he's planning to. He's just sent first his delegate, but, you know, behind the scene, he's committed, and he just wants to make it appear like he's saving the world. That would be the rumor that I would want to convene the world, and you know, trying to achieve what I would want as a result of this rumor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Flora. My next question is the craziest of all the questions I've written, and I like crazy. If I had a middle name, it would be Crazy. And I have saved it for a person who I truly admire, and who in my eyes is the king of table topics, and that is Simon. Simon, your question is, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? I repeat, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? Simon.
Assuming that the elephant was not vegetarian, the simple answer would be one chicken. It would suck it up with its trunk, put it in its mouth, and it would choke to death. But to ensure the task was done properly, I would use a second chicken. This second chicken would be picked up by its tail and inserted as a suppository. But unfortunately, this suppository would not work. And with the chicken in the front and then the chicken at the back, and fermentation processes occurring along its alimentary tract, we all know what's going to happen. In the hot African heat, it's going to get bigger and bigger. Decomposition is going to set in. Hydrogen sulfide is going to be produced. Butyric acid is going to be produced. Ammonia is going to be produced. And these three gases, when they are liberated, my God, they will produce such a god-awful stench that the entirety of that elephant's herd will know that that elephant has not just died, it has exploded. It has gone to heaven. It has gone to hell. It has fertilized the ground. But if you go to somewhere like Aldi's, you can pick up a chicken that hasn't got any feathers on. And this would help the elephant in two ways. First of all, the suppository would slip in and slip out. And secondly, if you try to choke it, it's going to cough it up. So therefore, we'd have to use more than two chickens. We'd have to get a flock of chickens and an assortment of people, and they could hold the chickens by their legs and just beat that goddamn elephant to death. But to ensure the elephant is killed, I put the chickens in the freezer first, because then when it hits the elephant, it will break its bones, because soft chickens, as we know, don't do anybody any good or any harm. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Simon. My next question is, what are some nicknames you have for your customers or co-workers? What are some nicknames you have for your customers or co-workers? And that question goes to Momo.
Yeah, I don't have nickname for my customer or coworker, but I've got so many nicknames for myself. I use so many different social media, and I've got each different social media. I've got different name. So if you ever have to find me in any of the social media, you will be able to find me with my name Momo. So for my Facebook, I have got Sun Thira. Sun is a sun, and Thira, the word comes from Sanskrit, which is flake snow. So combination of sun and snow. So that's my name in Facebook. And on Instagram, I have got Bosharan. And I can't even remember because I've got so many nicknames for myself. But unfortunately, I don't have anything for my coworker and for my, actually I work in a healthcare, so for my patient. But sometimes I tend to name them as a crazy, stupid patient. Yeah. It can be the time that we have to face such a challenging time. So on that moment, it is that I could call them as a crazy patient. But other than that, no, I don't have any other nickname for them, but rather for myself. Yeah. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Momo. We have another member join our meeting, and I will not let her go without answering a table topics question. Samantha, can you hear us? We have Samantha.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I was in a meeting. I've just come out of the meeting. I thought I must come to Toastmasters. I haven't been for ages. How are you? You put me on the spot straight away.
Absolutely. This is what all table topics is all about. So Samantha, my question to you is, what is the all-time worst buy one, get one sale item, or what would make the worst buy one, get one sale item, according to you?
Well, oh my gosh, the worst buy one, get one free. Oh God, well, I can't think. I mean, for me, I guess it'll probably be a candle, only because I have a cupboard full of candles at the moment. It seems to be people's favorite gift, and I don't have the heart to tell anyone. Whenever they give me one, I'm grateful. Or very nice people to think of you and to give you a gift. But I have an awful lot of candles, and I guess I should really start burning them a bit more and using them up. But or maybe I can recycle and make it a new gift somewhere else. But for me, the worst present at the moment is to receive yet another candle. Diwali is coming up, so in fact, I may get a chance to light them and celebrate. Is that the 4th of November, I believe? So yes. Diwali, if people don't know, is a festival of lights. That's as much as I know about it. I really should know a bit more. But I will get a chance to partake. I will light all my candles. There you go. So all those people who have given me presents over the years, it'll actually come in handy. So yes, I look forward to that. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Samantha. Well, you know what to give your Indian friends on Diwali, and you have plenty of it. Right. My next question is, what will be the most shocking thing for someone visiting from 100 years ago? What will be the most shocking thing today for someone visiting from 100 years ago? And that question goes to Molly.
Most shocking thing when someone came from 100 years ago is, I think, aeroplane, rocket, and internet, Zoom meeting. That's all are very shocking of 100 year ago man. That time there is no light, there is no internet, there's no picture and live meeting like Zoom. So it is very shocking for him. And he feel like a dream, like a heaven for him to see just a miracle thing in this era. I think so. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. I think they will also be shocked to see mobile phones and internet and several other things. My next question is for Lucy. Lucy, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what do you think it would be called? Lucy.
Well, I first think that peanut butter should not exist because it's really disgusting. I mean, how can you eat that in the morning? You have so many other things to try, marmalade, chocolate, stuff like that. So in my opinion, you need to check if you really want to eat this kind of things, perhaps you can have a sort of rebranding of the name. So one of the things I might just switch is peanut, because perhaps people don't really like that. And it also made me think about Simons and the speech he made about the elephant. So I would say that if you really want to change the name, you have to find something different, like just butter for morning, or things for confiture marmalade for children, or something different. But as I said, in my opinion, you just really need to switch the peanut word. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lucy. I love peanut butter. Please don't uninvent it.
I hate it. Oh, and do you like, is it marmite?
Yes. Marmalade. Marmite, you mean?
Marmite.
I would say I'm not someone who hates it. I haven't acquired a taste for it, but I definitely don't hate it. So
okay.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, it's all right.
And my last question goes to Pragati. Pragati, what is the weirdest thing a guest has done at your house at a party or at someone else's party? What is the weirdest thing you have seen a guest do at your house or at someone else's house at a party? Pragati.
I myself don't have a lot of parties because I don't like socializing. I mean, I'm not socializing, but just I'm not able to communicate very well with people. So I guess the weirdest thing for me would be any guest in a party would be, I guess, to talk a lot, not knowing what they're talking about and just saying, things that they should not be saying, or doing things that they should not be doing at anyone else's place. So, yeah, guess that would be the weirdest thing for me, personally, as I don't socialize that much. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragati. And that's all from me, your Table Topics Master tonight, and back to our Toastmaster, Momo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nisha, for all the interesting questions, and you add smile to all of our faces with all those interesting questions. And before you leave the stage, I would like to ask you the question which I came. What would you do if you know that you would never fail?
What would I do? Well, for as long as I can remember, I've been obsessed with the Apollo program and moon landing. I wasn't born in 1969, well after that, but this is something I wish I could go back to, be there, witness it. So if it was possible for me without failing, I would become an astronaut in the next 12 months and somehow manage to get into the lunar team that is supposed to fly to the moon or in 2024. I mean, they haven't selected the candidates yet, but I would love to be part of that team and fly to the moon, land on the lunar land. If that's not possible, then I would like to see what Voyager 1 is seeing. It was launched in 1977. It is the first object that has now gone into interstellar space. And I've always wondered, this man-made thing that has gone out so far into the space, what is it's seeing? So I would love to be the eyes on Voyager somehow, invent the technology and be its eyes. So that's what I would like to do. Thank you.
That's great, Nishita. You are now landed into the space. And now I would like to call Lucy to give us the time report, please, for the table topic and speech time report.
Yep, sure, thanks. So for the table topic, I'm just going to say everyone time. So first of all, Melanie, you did 2 minutes 41 seconds. Dil, you did 2 minutes 12. Joanna, 1 minute 47. Flora, 1 minute 43. Simon, 2 minutes 16. Momo, you did 1 minute 26. Samantha, you did 1 minute 14. Molly, you did 57 seconds. I did 1 minute 21, and Pragati, you did, it stopped just, but 59 seconds.
Thank you, Lucy. And for the next one, can we have the voting for table topic, please?
Yeah, so I'm really sorry. I don't know how to do the voting poll. I tried to look at the functionality. I can't see.
Maybe
So
we
I
can
think,
send you a private message.
yeah, exactly. I think it's better to do it like that. Thanks.
Who are we sending the private message to?
So you send it to me.
Oh, to you. Okay, to you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is it just me, or Flora is not on the list for some reason? I can't see her.
Trojan speaker, she's on the list as Trojan speaker.
Oh, silly me. Thank you.
Sorry, I also didn't find how to rename. This is the Zoom Master account. All right, I think we're good.
Yep. And for the next one, I would like to invite Simon to the stage to evaluate for table topic. Simon.
Thank you, Moma. In table topics, there are two ways of answering the question. You either answer the question you are given, or you make up something entirely different. Melanie answered the question. It was an absolutely fantastic answer, full of confidence, well-structured, and it flowed nicely. I was particularly enamored by the delicious structure and the detail she provided, even about Freemasonry, which I'm sure she's never actually come across directly. And it was also good that she ended on a call to action, which was a negative one. In fact, it was a case of us not to do as she did. Melanie also used the time wisely and was able to speak, I think, for the full 2 minutes. Dill, annoying things on flights. I sometimes think there's a difficulty if, when you're answering a question, you make your answer too specific. You have to provide yourself with a little bit of leeway to digress should the case arise. And I think, Dill, at moments you were struggling because you were too specific, and I just wanted you to have digressed slightly, bring in other ideas and thoughts, just to give you that extra time to go down a different path or to think in a slightly different way. However, I did like the way that your answer developed over time. The use of expletives, however, we have to watch what we say with our potty mouths. Joanna, good idea is to repeat the question. It's sensible to run down the clock if you're not too sure how to answer the question. I thought you were digressing from the trip to Everest for a moment when you mentioned the Serengeti, or it might have just been my hearing. Again, talking about something else, just give you the opportunity to digress, give you more time to think and make something up on the hoof. Unfortunately, you spoke for a shorter length of time, and I believe you probably could have extended your answer if you had digressed. Flora, conveying a rumor which people would believe. Repeating the question, again, subtle but practical way of winding down the time. If necessary, repeat it several times. That just gives you a chance for your mind to slow down, think about the question and think, how am I actually going to answer it? Is it going to be truthful or am I going to lie? Unfortunately, Flora believes in telling the truth and would, if you had to make up a rumor, make a believable rumor, which is interesting, but I think that Flora's actually got a cheeky streak in her, and I'd like her to play with that and tease the audience with a highly credible lie. Number 5, I can't remember who. Number 5, that was me. I was number 5. I talked absolute rubbish as normal, but when I get an idea, I like to digress and see where I can go with it. I also practice in the shower answering made-up questions, so I try and aim to speak total rubbish for up to 2 minutes. Hopefully it will make people laugh, but if you don't agree with my humor, I'm not going to be offended. Momo, name for customers and co-workers. A tough question, and I think it was quite a challenge for you to answer because I believe you ended up giving alternatives for yourself on various social media. However, I did agree with you with calling patients crazy, stupid individuals, as having experienced that in my professional practice. I quite agree with you. Unfortunately, your speech was too short, and having been with Toastmasters a little bit longer than some of the members who are here this evening, I would like you to have been able to chat for longer. Sam, good to see Sam after such a long time away. Thank you, Sam, for waving. What would be the worst bog-off present to get? Candles. Yep, difficult question, but I like the way that you linked it to Diwali and the Festival of Light. However, I was a bit concerned with Sam deciding to light all the candles at once, because then I believe her home would become a fire hazard and it would be a waste of emergency services trying to put out that flame. Also, Sam, I think being a little bit rusty, it was a bit of a challenge to get up to the full 2 minutes. But with time, I can see that occurring, well, getting up to the full 2 minutes going forward. So that's good signs for the future. Molly, a shocking thing for a person from a century ago to see today. Another challenging question. And although you had lots of interesting ideas, I don't think you were fair to yourself by giving yourself a chance to actually think about them further and take them to the nth degree. Unfortunately, you spent insufficient time speaking, and this is a good time for you to make things up. Play with us. You're in control for 2 minutes. We're prepared to listen to anything you say. And I think also with your moniker of being the astrologer, I think you could forecast how your speech was going to develop. Lucy, peanut butter should be called something else. A good solid answer. Again, well structured, well developed. However, I think you found yourself running out of ideas as you approached the end of your speech, and you were looking for ways to cut and run. It will come with experience and practice. Just make it up, just blag. No one really cares. As for myself, I'm a fan of Marmite. Pragati, that was, I think, a challenging question for anybody. I think if you're going to be deprecating, do so with a sense of humor. Don't do it seriously. You just make it harder, I think, for you to play with the thoughts. So if you're a bit cheeky about it, a bit funny about it, no one will take any notice of it. But being serious, it just makes it harder, I think, for you to move the argument along. And I don't believe that you're someone who does not like socializing. Otherwise, you would not be here this evening, and you would not be so entertaining with your eloquence. And that is all I was going to say, except for one final comment. There are too many ums and ahs and ers. It does take practice trying to avoid those, but if we can get out of the habit, that would be fantastic. Now back to you, Madam Toastmaster Momo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simon. Before you leave this stage, may I please ask you a question? What would you do if you know that you would never fail?
On the basis that I knew I was never going to fail and I'd pass all my exams, I would have trained to be a home office forensic pathologist. Nothing would have been a greater job to do in this world, to find out how people died. And knowing I'd have the confidence to get the answer right all the time. And being right all the time, I'd be invited to perform autopsies or postmortems throughout the world, increasing my reputation, increasing my experience, and then writing maybe a couple of best-selling books for the general public and some academic textbooks for fellow pathologists. That would be my aim and desire.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I would like to invite Lucy again to give us the evaluation report, please, for the speech one and then the table topic one.
Oh, so sorry, you mean to give the time again for both? Okay.
Yes, please.
Sorry. So no, for the first part, so Pragati did everything on time, just over 5 minutes, which was great. For Joanna, a bit over time, but we also had the question, which is something that she didn't have anything on it, so she just had to answer. And then overall for the topics, everyone did more or less at least 1 minute, which was great. And only Melanie got over time, but it was interesting to listen. So that was great.
Sorry to cut in, Lucy. I think Momo meant the timings of the evaluator. So in this case, it would be Flora and Simon. So you have to give the times for these two.
I'm sorry, I didn't take the time.
That's okay.
For next time. And so just a quick question, how long should it take for the evaluator? Is there any limits?
Yes, for the speech evaluation, that will be a 3 minute, no, 2 minute, 3 minute, and 2.5 and 3, sorry. And
so Lucy, yeah, you can also look on the agenda. You will see the time. I don't know if we have shared the agenda.
Yes, I did see the agenda, but there weren't any specific time for this. So
that's why you didn't. Yeah. Okay.
And for the table topic evaluation, it will be 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and 8 minutes.
I will know for the next time. Thanks.
Sure. And for the next one, yeah, I would like to invite our grammarian, Melanie, to give us the grammarian report, please. Melanie.
Okay, so as you know, the word of the day was solicitously. That was it. Solicitously, meaning that somebody has spoken or acted in a caring manner, perhaps towards somebody else. So I don't think any of us managed to use it, not myself either, but that's no problem because we've got the rest of our lives. So as long as we keep this in mind, we'll have a great dialogue in future. However, I did make some notes about, word techniques, perhaps interesting quotes or phrases throughout people's speeches. I found that in Pragati's speech, "This too shall pass," I found it really interesting that in her first line, she really set the scene. It was very descriptive. And I found that this was a theme that she carried throughout her speeches, so in the table topics as well. Yes, and also she did something which I found that certain other speakers did too. So Joanna at one point did this as well, and it was use of adverbs to emphasize particular phrases to really focus the audience's attention on specific bits of the speech. So for instance, dark chasm, long struggle, deliberate decision. From Joanna in her speech, best platform, genuine feedback. And usually that adverb is coupled with an emphasis, like a tonal emphasis. And again, that really focuses the audience's attention. What else? So, yeah, I found that there were interesting techniques used in everybody's speeches. So Flora also, she did, she linked back to the phrase she mentioned at the start of her speech towards the end, and a couple of other people did this as well. So for instance, she talked about the effect of Toastmasters in both her work life and her personal life in her opening phrase when we were giving our introductions during the break. And later on, I found that somebody else did this too. Who was it? May have been, let's see. Sorry, I'm just searching through my notes. And I'm not going to say anymore. I think it was no, it wasn't Molly, but I will just move on and talk about what Molly did. So I found that in the first line or two, she mentioned 4 things that would have been shocking for a visitor from 100 years ago, but then she negated that immediately with the ways in which that would have shocked that person. So, for instance, I think it was like planes, the internet, Zoom meetings, and then that was 3 of them, and then right away, no internet, no pictures, no Zoom. So I think that contrast also is kind of like focusing for the audience. So yeah, I think people throughout the meeting, everyone made use of some kind of techniques, whether or not they were aware of it, but it enhanced their speeches. Yeah.
Thank you for the report, Melanie. Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite our headmaster of the day, Dil Limbu, to give us the report, please.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'm back again to test you all of your listening skills. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to whiz through a couple of questions so you can all unmute yourself and shout out the answers if you know them. And well, since it's virtual, we normally, if it was physical, we would have handed you some sweets, but it's virtual. I'm just gonna clap for you guys. So the first question is, what was the title of Pragriti's speech?
This too shall pass.
Yay, Nishta. So, why did Pragriti join Toastmaster?
Because of her pesky cousin? Sorry, don't tell her that I said pesky.
No, there was another reason. Anyone?
To help her get out of a slum.
Yes, more or less. Thank you. Now, who was Pragriti's biggest supporter?
Husband.
Yay, for all of you. Okay, to be eligible for the Toastmasters Dynamic Award, what is mandatory?
The Toastmasters rule.
Yay. Okay, let's see. At the moment, what is the worst gift to give Samantha?
Candles.
Yeah.
Candles.
Yay,
Candles.
yes. Candles. According to Simon, how many chickens does it take to kill an elephant?
2.
Oh, yeah, 2.
More than 2. Thank you.
It's frozen only 1.
Yeah. One more question. What did Nishta want to be if she couldn't fail?
Astronaut.
Astronaut.
Yay. That concludes our question and answer session. Thank you very much, everyone, for answering. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Dil. Now I will hand over to our president, Flora, to close the meeting and also to let us know the best table topic speaker.
Thank you, Momos. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So yeah, it's my pleasure to do the award. So tonight, because we only had 1 speaker and 2 evaluators, we actually haven't voted it for the best speaker and for the best evaluator, but we voted for the best table topic speaker. So if you just want to do a bit of noise to just go through the suspense, we had amazing table topics. So thank you, Nishta, and then everyone participate. We just think it's great when we have a bit more time to do that. So guess who has won this award? And she may be a bit rusty, but Samantha was the best ever topic speaker. So well done, Samantha.
Oh my goodness, guys, you're so kind.
Ah,
Thank you
goodness.
very much.
So yeah, very well done.
Thank you.
So yes, so as I said in introduction, so we're looking for a surgeon of arms. So if anyone is interested, maybe some of the new number, if you want to join the committee, there's training and supporting as well committee member that can explain the role and help you with that. So let me know if that can be of interest. Simon actually was a surgeon of arm last year, so I don't know, Simon, if you want to say what was your best souvenir as surgeon of arm.
I was going to say finishing the role. But no,
all right.
Zoom meeting is totally different to the physical meeting. I never actually did the physical meetings because of lockdown. So it's really difficult for me to say what it's like, but having watched other people in the past, it does involve the physical preparation of the rooms. Other people will help you, but obviously at the beginning of the meeting, getting it set up, at the end of the meeting, taking things down, and also sorting out the refreshments during the break. On Zoom, it's just a matter of opening the meeting, a few housekeeping rules, and that is it. So the rules are as different as chalk and cheese, but they will be quite good, I think, to do it physically. I've never done it physically. I wouldn't say I'd like to do it physically, but if pressed to help out one meeting, I'd be happy to do so to help whoever volunteers to do that role. But consider it. It's not a bad role to have. You'll be on the committee, or helping out the committee, and good experience as well as good physical exercise. So go for it.
Thanks, Simon. And in terms of the physical meeting, what we will do as well is we'll relaunch a survey as November approach. So we'll do that just to see where our members stand in terms of, everyone is ready to go back to the church where we were meeting before. So this is something that the committee will look as now the contest has been done, and we have a bit more time to look at this. In terms of date, I think it's on the 11th of November where we have the division contest, and that's that's
the 13th.
13, yeah, sorry. 13, which is a Saturday. So Saturday morning, there's a division contest. So when Nishta will has won the right to be there. So we'll also be supporting her if you want to attend, which is fantastic. But it's also a great like it's really a great a time to listen to experienced speaker and to see how they come across when they speak. So this is it in terms of update. I'm really pleased to have seen all of you. I think we did a great job at actually sharing a bit more of our stories, and everyone participated. Everyone spoke, so that's the big things, big success. Thank you.
As a committee member, can I just quickly add a couple of things to what just Flora said? All the new members, if this is the first time you've joined a Toastmasters meeting, I would like to tell you that our physical meetings are a lot of fun. They're very well attended. We have tea and coffee and biscuits in our break time. It's a great way to meet other people, and the feeling that you get, that sense of, sitting in a hall. We have our meetings in a community hall in a church very close to Ealing Broadway. It's completely different. Your learning will be different. You will be giving speeches and hearing speeches in a completely different way. It's a lot of fun. And part of the reason today our meeting is so thinly attended, and usually, a lot of members have opted to not attend of late, is because of Zoom fatigue. But when we do go back to physical meetings, you will see more and more people will show up, and it's something, it's like spending an evening with friends, making conversations and learning something. So please do attend when we do go back to physical meetings, and your experience of Toastmasters will completely change. And second thing, I just wanted to add that we're working on mentoring scheme. We are thinking of bringing back this mentee mentoring relationship so that new members can, there's somebody to hold their hand. And if there's anything they need to learn or ask, they will have support from their mentor. We are working on it. It will be introduced at some point, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, if you want to understand how Toastmaster works, or if you are keen on giving your first speech but do not know how to start, you don't understand pathways, please feel free to approach us. Feel free to approach me. I'm more than happy to explain how it works. You can unofficially also contact me. I'm happy to answer your questions. In fact, any member from the committee would be happy to help you. So feel free. Don't be a stranger. Just come say hello. Thank you, Flora.
Thank you, Nishta. I am officially closing this meeting. I never know how to finish the meeting, but that's how I think we say when we.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice evening.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.